I don't really know what people say to each other. I think there might be something wrong with me. Like, there's a part of me that's missing.
Yeah, it's called your helmet. Howdy, y'all. I'm Adam the Renaissance Nerd, and welcome to my review of Halo Season 2. That's right, the Silver Timeline is back, baby! And they haven't learned a goddamn thing in the year since Season 1. That is correct. Halo Season 2 is off to the same dreadful start that Halo Season 1 was. Silver Timeline is atrocious. They are still going down the same goddamn path of let's not have the Master Chief be the Master Chief. Let's have him just be John. Because remember, that's what I call him. He is not Master Chief. I'm not even going to say Master Cheeks to make fun of that. He is simply John. He has no soul. He has no power. He has no real agency. He is just an emo little bitch who runs around with his helmet off constantly. Remember, Pablo Schreiber said, if you don't like that I take my helmet off, you're not going to like this show. Well, guess what? No one's going to like your show. It's garbage. We are here now. We got 2 episodes today. I'm going to give you the first episode breakdown right now, and then there'll be a little skip because then I got to go watch episode 2 so it's nice and fresh and I can be angry. You know how it works, guys. Either way, we're going to walk our way through it. I'm not going to hide anything from you. I'm going to tell you how stupid it is, tell you how boring it is, because that's one of the things so far. It is boring. They bait and switch you once more right out of the gate. A lot of action to start, and then boring. Characters we don't care about, boring. Master Chief without his helmet on, boring. But I delay. Let's get this shit show started, shall we?
Have you? Family? Spartan? Have you faith? No. These things are not for you, are they?
Well. Here we go. Last season, remember, we left off with Cortana wearing a Master Chief skin, laying waste to a bunch of Covenant, giving us for a brief moment what we thought the entire show might be Master Chief kicking ass. No, instead, it was Cortana. Here we go right away. Doesn't have his helmet on. This is the aftermath of his basically going brain dead so Cortana could take over. They're trying to resuscitate John while removing Cortana from his brain. After we see a tear roll down his face, we cut to the present. We're on some rando planet. Doesn't matter. There was a name. I don't care what it was. The Covenant's on the move. The Covenant is starting to glass everything in sight. That's right. Hey, it's Halo. Covenant glassing things. Aren't you excited? No, not really. Halo is now a vehicle for a lot of people talking about their feelings. Although they're going to try and lie to you out of the gate here. These first 15 minutes we're going to have here, the bait and switch. That's right. There'll be a lot of, well, not a lot, a little bit of action. And then it's time for another 50 minutes of talking and feeling and sitting and walking and talking and all the things we expect from Halo, right? Well, John and Silver Team, who have now removed all their emotional pellets, remember the emotional pellets from last season that inhibits free thinking? Well, they've all removed them now, so they get a lot of banter. It's fun. It's exciting. We're supposed to feel for them and be engaged with them, but we're not because we don't care. They're on a planet. They're playing babysitter duty, as they call it, while a bunch of regular troopers evacuate some citizens. But here's the problem. These citizens don't want to go, especially their tiny little old white girl boss shaman. She doesn't want to go anywhere because she's a part of the planet. We get a close-up as the captain's trying to convince her to leave in a very abrasive manner. Bad man talking to girl shaman whatever, talking to shaman girl boss. You need to leave. Oh, you told us to leave 42 years ago when we were on our perfect planet with trees, water, and fish. I know. We want to hear another Karen lecturing people about this and that. I mean, at least I do. I constantly want to hear a tiny little girl boss Karen lecturing people. Oh, no, but we have to show how bad the government was. Didn't we do that last season? Why do we have to do it again? Why can't we just have Master Chief killing things? Because we don't deserve nice things. Right. Master Chief and one of Silver Team, I don't care which one it was, doesn't matter, they all suck, are asked to come in and help the evacuation speed up because little shaman girl boss doesn't want to go anywhere. So Master Chief arrives, and we can't have him be Master Chief. He has to be John, because John needs to be talked down to by tiny little shaman girl boss. That's right. You saw it in the transition clip. She goes on and on about things having souls and planets having souls, and basically alluding to the fact that the Master Chief doesn't have a soul because he has no faith in anything. He has no family. No, that's not for you. You're just a dog of war. I shouldn't say that, but that's reading between the lines because I'm capable of doing that. He silently looks on as she walks away, says, no, we're not going to leave because our faith demands that we suffer with our planet. Do you hear the messaging? Do you hear the messaging in there? I hear it. It's thick. It's retarded. And that's just what I want to watch Halo for. Environmental messaging. John is about to turn and go back to Overwatch with the rest of Silver Team, but then he's told that Bravo survey team has disappeared. Well, he's going to go to a point where other members of Silver Team have been watching and say there's some flashing lights over there while they're having their banter about how giant black Spartan guy likes to watch animal shows now that he doesn't have his pellet. Are you interested? It's boring already. John decides to go investigate, says, get ready, go help evacuate people, I'll catch up. He gets up there, finds them in the fog. There's a problem with communications. That's why they can't call back. After a moment of stupid exchange, Covenant attack, bunch of elites, and we get 5 minutes of shaky cam action. CGI shaky cam action that has an uncanny valley that is almost as wide as the Grand Canyon. For a moment, you think, great, he's being the Master Chief, because he has a couple cool moves, shooting guys in the head, stabbing with a knife. You're like, yay! But it's all shaky cam, foggy, and very dim. It's hard to keep track of. And that's all the action you're going to get, because once John is done, he retrieves the final member of the survey team, only to be suddenly surrounded by dozens of elites ready to gank his ass. For a moment, you might think, hey, okay, John's going to actually be the Master Chief, and with just a shotgun and a pistol, he's going to go to town on these guys. Nope. Sorry. They suddenly decide to leave because he glances over and sees his ex-girlfriend from last season. Remember, Covenant girl boss. She's there. Spoiler, you learn at the end of the episode, but it's goddamn obvious it's her. She pulls them back, doesn't let them kill him. We'll come back to her later. And then the glassing begins. Oh, look, the glassing. Remember, that's what happens in Halo. The Covenant glasses planets. Aren't you excited? Aren't you involved and invested and engaged? No, we're not. Because shaky cam, bad CGI action is not fun. John picks up the survivor. Her name is Perez. I don't know if it'll matter after this episode. Takes her back. Everybody's leaving. The stupid girl boss little shaman stops Master Chief and says, find your faith, Spartan. You're going to die soon. I've foreseen it, as they go march over to get glassed with the planet because they don't want to leave while a bunch of other people are being evacuated. But they're going to stay and die with the planet as if it's some sort of message we need to hear and see. Everybody evacuates and enjoy this last frame of John wearing his Master Chief cosplay. Because in 2 seconds, literally, boop, helmet off. Helmet will not be on again for the rest of the episode. That's right. Helmetless Master Chief will endure because Pablo Schreiber needs to have his mug seen. We return to Reach, where John and the rest of Silver Team are being debriefed, and we're going to get introduced to the Halsey replacement. Remember, last season, Karen Girl Boss Halsey is on the run because she escaped her imprisonment for the crime she committed in making Spartans, but they all knew she was doing it anyway. Whatever. Here's her replacement. Surprise, instead of evil white girl lady, now it's evil white dude with giant moles on his neck. I don't remember what his name is. I don't care what his name is. We're just going to call him Evil Mole White Man. He gives a big lecture about how he's here to make them strong again, make them great, to carry on Halsey's legacy, yet he's going to bench him. Silver Team gets benched. We having fun yet? Oh, we'll wait for the B plot now, because it's even more boring than this.
If you know where Halsey is, why not collect the bounty yourself?
I'm no bounty hunter. Just a merchant's mate, sir. And the thing is, see, the place they got her, it ain't so easy to get to.
On account of having to wade through all the bullshit.
Said it before and I'll say it again. This show has learned nothing from season 1. When you start a fresh season, especially when there's a time skip, you have the opportunity to leave behind things and characters, events, ideas that were not interesting, that people didn't want to even bother following up on. The show has learned nothing, because once again, we're going to go talk about Soren. That's right, Soren, former Spartan turned pirate king. He has to have a B plot that really could have been done very quickly and over with, but no, we have to set it up, dragging on for literally 20 minutes total in this episode. We arrive on Soren's Pirate King paradise, where refugees from glassed planets are being brought in, but they have to earn their way. And not only earn, once they're in, they become indentured servants to the pirate cartel, the pirate syndicate families, wherever the hell they are. They have to work off their debt. We get a few brought in here, people saying, oh, I can do this, I can do that, all to the barking of this fat whammons in a top hat who... How do I put this? Well, I guess I'll just show you the scream cap. At one point, when she's interrogating this big, burly criminal, after he threatens to hurt her, she flips it around on him, starts choking him with her microphone cord, and riding him like a horse while mocking him. Gotta have a fat woman just break down a man who is 2 times her size and should be able to beat the ever-living shit out of her. But nope, whammon's got a whammon. Meanwhile, the whole reason we're here is because this poor schmuck, or is he a poor schmuck? This poor schmuck, who was a merchant's assistant, wants to be a part of this pirate paradise. He can't get in. They reject him until he says, I know where Catherine Halsey is. And that gets Soren's attention. Soren, who has a hard-on for getting Dr. Halsey, pretends to ignore what he has to say, but makes a nod, and one of his people grabs the guy and takes him aside. And we'll be back in a minute, because first now we got to go back to John on Reach. John's going to go meet Evil Moly Moly Neckman. Evil Moly Moly Neckman is ready to receive him, but before he does that, he sees Perez in a little cubicle room being debriefed, or just finished being debriefed. We get a moment where it's made to appear she's still suffering from PTSD for the events on the planet that got glassed a little bit ago. But John walks into Evil Moly Moly Man's office, and they have a discussion. First of all, John says, I'm sorry, sir, I didn't know who you were in the debriefing. Didn't mean to be so rude to you. Moly Moly Man says, that's fine. John says, hey, I understand you were a soldier. You know what it's like to be out there, to be fighting. So that means you should be ready to turn Silver Team loose. Guy says, no, we need to keep you here, keep you on security duty. But for right now, we're also going to lock you down. But no, why are you doing this, sir? Says John. We need to fight because we can't keep lying to the people that the war is going better than it is. He says, oh, don't worry. Because we need to worry about you and what Dr. Halsey did to you. John goes, What? What are you talking about? Well, she illegally implanted Cortana in your brain, and it's done things to you. You're having blackouts. You're seeing things. You're losing time, aren't you? John, no, I'm not. Why are you doing this to me? Oh, because you were damaged. Basically, what this entire scene curtails is having Moly Moly Evil Neck Mole Man put his dick on the table and say, I have a bigger dick than you, John, wannabe Master Chief. Therefore, I'm going to order you around. I'm not going to let you leave when you want to leave. You ask to leave, I say no, that kind of stuff. It's supposed to show that he's not a nice man. He's an evil white man, oppressing our white man who's coming to terms with his feelings. And that's bad. We're done with this. we go back to Soren's pirate kingdom, where he's in his private quarters. For a moment, we get a shot of his son wearing a Spartan helmet. Enjoy that. He's the only person in the entire episode remaining that's going to wear a Spartan helmet. He runs away. He's like, why is the boy walking away from me? He seems upset. Wife comes in. Let's take a moment to appreciate Soren's wife in her skin-tight leather jacket, showing every lovely curve that she has. I like it. The one thing I approve of in this episode, Soren's wife. Well, she starts to tell him, you're losing touch, Soren. You're losing touch. The other cartel, the other syndicate families, they're not afraid of you anymore because you're chasing the ghost of Catherine Halsey. Soren says, whatever, I'm going to go get a drink. She continues to follow him, tells him, no, listen, you have to listen to me. I'm your wife. God damn it. You must hear what I have to say. We need to run away. She goes from you're losing power to let's just run away from everything. Let's leave. Let's depart. Let's flee. Let's take our son and run. He says, no. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. Okay? Now, I would at least listen to her for a couple hours in bed outside of the nice skin-tight leather. I'm getting distracted. Excuse me. Anywho, Soren then brushes off her fear, says, don't worry, everything's going to be fine. We're going to be in control. And I'm not chasing the ghost of Catherine Halsey. And in fact, he is. He is chasing the ghost of Catherine Halsey. He's obsessed with it. But we're going to get back to that in a bit. We return to Reach to find Silver Team in their locker room, or I guess it's the entire Spartan locker room, because while they're watching Perez be honored for her victory in evacuating the people from the Glass Planet, they're making it out as though she was this massive hero. Basically, it's propaganda. It's propaganda to obfuscate the fact that that they're losing the war against the Covenant. And they need to paint heroes, and they're pretending the Master Chief is a giant hero who saved the day there as well, and Perez shouldered her gun even though she got the shit kicked out of her, and she got people out of there. It's thin. And the Silver Team is not happy about this. They don't like the lies. But at the same time, here comes Cobalt Team, another band of Spartans. They come in, and what we get now is an exchange of the two Spartan teams pettily bickering at each other. They're bickering, with Cobalt Team saying, oh, look, it's Silver Team who has emotions. Let's make fun of them. But we still have our pellets, so we're better than you. Wait a minute. You have your pellets, which are supposed to inhibit your emotions, but you're behaving like petty little bitches because Silver Team gets more propaganda promotion than you do. Brilliant writing. Your supposedly emotionless people are bickering like school children. They have this thing that goes on for a few minutes. It ends with John telling the Cobalt leader to be aware, because John has had concerns of what the Covenant were actually doing on the planet before it got glass, which we're going to get to in a second, because as he watches Perez be honored even more, as he watches Moly Moly Evil Neck Man pretend that there's some sort of great victory happening, well, John has a problem with that, and he's going to go confront him now.
Just tell them what they're walking into. Tell Cobalt. That is all.
John is not happy with Moly Moly Evil Neck Man. He is afraid that Moly Moly Evil Neck Man is not taking his warning seriously, that the Covenant are training for something. They're training to attack specific communications facilities. But Moly Moly Neck Man says, you are wrong. You're damaged in the brain. I'm not going to listen to what you have to say. That's basically this exchange. John tries to tell him to tell Cobalt Team to be ready for whatever they mean, because there's going to be Covenant there. They're likely walking into a trap. Moly Moly Neck Man, he wants nothing to do with it. He says, you shut up. You shut up, man who's getting in touch with feelings. I need you to go be benched because you are not capable of clear thought. John is defeated. He has to go slink away. We cut back to Soren. I'm going to stick with Soren for a moment here, even though it does jump back and forth. We want to wrap up Soren's little pathetic B-plot. He's getting ready to go out hunting for Dr. Halsey. His son comes in. It's a nice little father-son moment. He wants to be a good dad. He is a good dad. He loves his son. He wants to protect him, provide for him. The son starts talking about, are you going out again? You say you didn't have to go out again. Yeah, I'm going out again because I'm the boss. And I got to show people that I'm the boss. So you can keep bossing them around? That's right. So I keep bossing them around. Got to be strong. But aren't you afraid of the monsters? What monsters, son? Who's talking about monsters? Where'd you get that from? Nothing. I came up with it myself. And there's the red flag. No, a child like this is not spewing bullshit. Aren't you afraid of the monsters out there? Won't you swear on your soul that there are no monsters out there? Swear on my soul, even. I think he said, swear on my soul. A child doesn't talk like that without someone putting those words in his head. And we're going to find out who that is real soon. God damn it. Soren tells his son it's going to be fine, tells him to stop being a child like that. Don't believe in monsters. Got to grow up, be a man. I'll be back. Don't worry. Soren goes off, gets on a ship, see a bit of his crew, goes and confronts this poor schmuck who saw Dr. Halsey. Says, okay, you're coming with me. Again, you better be right with your story, because if you're not, well, I'm going to kill you out there, basically. They get out there. They go all the way out to where they saw this wreck. I guess time is instant again. We forget about passage of time in this show, like always. We get there. It's a wrecked ship. They're going to go on board. They're going to be in spacesuits. And we get a stupid conversation where you're supposed to be getting the idea that this poor schmuck is really a hapless idiot because he's going to make Soren mad, that Soren's going to have to space him or some shit like that. They get to the room where he saw Halsey's container, because he said that Halsey was being kept in cryo-freeze in a box and a panel fell off while he was loading it and he saw it. Problem is, suddenly Soren realizes there's a problem. He says, which panel? Guy says, that one on the side. How'd you see it if you were up on the loader? Well, I don't know, maybe. At that moment, we see their ship, Soren's ship flies away, because guess what? It's a trap. That's right. The poor schmuck is actually an agent that has been sent to capture Soren, and they capture Soren. Soren, B-plot over. He's been arrested for piracy and treason. Huzzah. Didn't we really need this? I enjoyed it. I loved it. It was so boring. Meanwhile, back on Reach, John is walking around in a hoodie because I guess he has to protect his identity, because he walks around without his goddamn helmet all the time, so I guess they're going to recognize him as John 117, fake Master Chief. He's walking around, ends up in an elevator. Everybody exits except for one lady. Looks like she's messing with the button. He goes, hey, you push the button to make it work. I know how to make it work, because I'm Admiral Girl Boss from last season. Though I'm fired, so I'm not Admiral Girl Boss anymore, but I'm still going to call her Admiral Girl Boss because I don't know her goddamn name. She's Admiral Girl Boss. Admiral Girl Boss begins to basically tell John, you're hopeless without me. You need me to help you because you can't trust the new guy because he's not going to listen to what you have to say. He's going to turn on you. He's going to destroy everything that we fought for because he doesn't want to rock the boat. He's ambitious. He wants to gain power. He's okay with pushing the propaganda. Well, after she's done telling him, here's a chip, push it, I'll find you and help you, bring any information you get to me, because I'm your only hope. You can't be the hero. You need my help as Admiral Girl Boss. After he's done with Admiral Girl Boss, John goes to what is essentially an AI holograph suite where I would assume it's jerk-off instruction, because you can't actually touch it. She would just stand there and talk to him. He puts in this chip. He creates a facsimile of Cortana. It's not Cortana. He just kind of makes it look like Cortana. And you're made to think that he's pining for Cortana while he spills his guts about his fifis, about how, I don't know who I am. I feel like the world and the people have something I'm missing. I can't connect. I'm so sad and depressed. Shut up. Don't tell me I'm missing her. No. It's a bunch of sitting and talking, crying bullshit. This is your Silver Timeline Master Chief who sits and cries while talking to a pre-programmed AI who maybe was supposed to give him a jerk-off instruction. I don't know. Instead, she starts questioning, well, maybe it's not me you want, because I can be whatever you want, but you can't seem to decide on what you want. Maybe you're pining for something else. And we get the flashback and the confirmation that indeed it was his ex-girlfriend, Covenant Girl Boss on the Glass Planet, and she says to him, you should have come with me. And then he cries some more and leaves. And while he is marching through the streets and we get everything coming together for the end of the episode. We get a monologue of somebody in a cave touching the wall talking about monsters, because as they came home, as I said, we're coming back to this, as they came home and told us that Soren is not there anymore, and as I am preparing to step in and be this kid's new stepdad, the kid runs off to a cave and goes to the person who's filling his brain with all this talk of monsters. Back when Silver Team was getting debriefed earlier in the episode, when they mentioned that Madrigal, remember Madrigal from season 1, the heavy water planner, remember they were talking about how it got glassed. I was hoping and praying we were done with that, because remember Madrigal was a passage to the Halo. Remember when Girl Boss in Training Kai saw a spark? We thought maybe it's a guilty spark. We don't know. Saw a spark. Remember that? Madrigal was gone. I thought, oh, great. We're going to be done with this. As I said with Soren, here is an opportunity to leave behind trash storylines and try and right the ship. But no, because you can recognize the voice if you watch season 1. The monologue being talked about, monsters are here. You should have listened to me. I know what I'm talking about. And now we have this and that. Oh, look, it's Girl Boss in Training Kai. Her training is probably over now. She is a full-on girl boss. God damn it. Why did you bring this insufferable little bitch back? Because my representation, my diversity. She needs to be telling people things. She needs to be educating people. She's got to educate that little black boy. Well, that's episode 1, as we get a shot of Covenant ships rising from the mist, getting ready to do bad deeds. I'm going to go watch episode 2 now. I'll see you in another hour. Well, for you, it's just going to be a couple seconds.
I need you to tell me about the man.
My nose is bleeding.
I know. Tell me what he looks like.
I don't feel very good.
Tell me his name.
I'm scared.
The man. His name. His name. Tell me his name.
And we're back. For you, it's just been 20 seconds as you watch the transition clip. For me, it's been a grueling 46 minutes of trash. Yes, episode 2 is continuing the garbage that this series is known for at this point. Horrible editing, horrible dialogue, story points that are worthless from every goddamn angle. I'm completely serious. We have in this episode, in last episode, at least there was only the A and B plot. In this one, there is an A, B, C, D plot. They're doing it like they did it last season. And God forbid we get some Halo action in this. Because once again, this, as I said, this series continues its normal behavior of nothing happens for an entire episode. Literally nothing happens. Nothing of consequence anyway. And we'll get to it. We begin, as you saw from the transition clip. Oh, Dr. Halsey, of course she's alive. We knew she was captured by the UNSC, the ONI. They have control of her. Long story short, because I don't have to come back to this little thing because it blips in and out throughout the episode, Halsey is trapped in a holographic cell where they keep sending in clones of her that they appropriated from her lab. For what reason, I don't really know. They didn't really make that clear. But Moly Moly Evil Neck Guy is the one doing this. And Halsey later on has a conversation with him about how are you getting all this? Where are you knowing? There's only one way you can know my private thoughts about a pomegranate tree, and that's from Cortana. So we're going to learn eventually that Moly Moly Evil Neck Man has Cortana and is using her. We'll get back to that because that's the culmination of the episode. When we're done with that, we jump back to John and member of Silver Team Kai, I think her name is. They're standing there in the briefing room watching as some rando tech dude slaps a standby on Cobalt Squad. And now John is all pissed off. What happened to Cobalt? Where did they go? Damn you, evil Moly Moly Neck Man. Why didn't you listen to me? I'm going to go find out what it is. Well, it's going to be another 20 minutes before we find out what John has to say to Mr. Moly Moly Neck Man, because guess what we're going to have to do for another 10 minutes? That's right. Back to Pirate King Haven and Kai. Yes, girl boss Kai. We get to be with her for a bit. Long story short, she's trapped on Pirate King Haven land. She has one of those indentured servant tags on her ear. She's trying to get it off. She can't get it off. She takes a piece of bread. Some dudes with a tracker pick up her ping, and they track her, and now a chase happens throughout Pirate King Haven Place. What happens during that? What you would expect. Tiny little 90-pound girl boss Kai beats the crap out of one dude after another in this running chase. Yes! Dudes 2-3 times her size, she easily outmaneuvers and rams into shit as she escapes down into a junkyard, trash compactor place, I don't know. The dudes get down there while the dude who has the tracker and his last henchman trying to find her, she manages to get the drop on last henchman and space him. Yes. Then, of course, dude with the tracker gets his hands on her. They have a little fight, and she takes the tag she had just removed from her ear and stabs it in his head to defeat him. Yes, he almost killed her, but somehow she survived by stabbing a tiny little thing this big far enough through his skull to kill him. Do you realize how preposterous all of this is? This chick is a worthless character. She serves no purpose. But they're going to make up purpose to try and convince us going forward. Next, let's continue with pointless storylines of pointless characters we don't care about. Remember cornrows Asian Spartan chick from Silver Team whose name again, I don't know, Reese. I don't care. She's retarded. Doesn't matter. Well, her emotions have gotten the better of her because she's denying Kai that she's suffering pain from her injuries incurred last season. Now she's trying to work out, and apparently some Spartan reject who's blind, who is her support system, convinces her that she needs to get help. So they're going to go see some homeopathic doctor later on in the episode. We'll stop there when we get there. Because now finally, after 20 minutes, John's going to go talk to Moly Moly Evil Neck Man.
Can't win this war without us, sir. You're right. I need Master Chief. We all do. But John, at the end of the day, he's just a guy in a suit.
John finally confronts Moly Moly Evil Neck Man once again, where Moly Moly Evil Neck Man basically says, I don't trust you because you're lying, because you're demented. Nobody can corroborate what happened over on Planet that Got Glass in the last episode. Nobody can corroborate that. What about Perez? Says John. Perez told us that it didn't happen. So John gets angry. He threatens him, and you saw in the transition clip at the end of this, Moly Moly Evil Neck Man goes, well, we need the Master Chief. Yeah, we need you to win the war. But in the end, you're just a guy in a suit. What matters is the image of Master Chief. And, well, frankly, I'd love to see Master Chief, wouldn't you? All we have is John. John leaves in a huff. We're going to tell you where he goes in a moment. Between that, though, my future wife, future mother of my future stepson, confronts the crew of her ex-husband, saying, why aren't you ready to go? I needed this 2 days ago. Obviously, they're stalling because they abandoned what was Soren? That's his name, Soren. He doesn't exist anymore because she needs to remember that she's going to have me very soon, and she needs to forget her husband. What happens, though, they abandoned him. They're lying to her. She needs to get out of there because she knows she's in trouble. She needs to take my future stepson along with her and get out of there. She storms away, looking very hot in her tight leather. Meanwhile, my future stepson goes down to see Kai in the caves, brings her some food. Kai is nursing her wounded ear. That's all she's got. Out of everything that she just went through, she just has the wound she inflicted upon herself to pull the indentured servitude tag out of her ear. She's unhappy, though. Kai says, I have to leave. People are after me. Boy says, but when my dad comes back, he'll protect you. Kai goes, your dad's never coming back. Boy runs away. She just goes, no. But then she just sits in a corner and cries. I guess her girl boss training is failing her, because if you can't even girl boss a little kid, what good are you, girl boss Kai? That's the end of Kai. Thank God for this episode. But you realize we spent too much time on this episode with Kai, who serves no purpose. Have you understood what I'm saying so far? Everything I've detailed to you. What has happened this episode so far? John got angry, confronted Moly Moly Neckman for all of a couple of minutes. We watched Kai be girl boss fight her way through a thing. My future wife, mother of my future stepson, basically yelled at the crew that abandoned the husband that we need to forget about because she needs to focus on me from now on. And then we're going to now focus on Reese. That's right. Here comes the Reese storyline that, frankly, who really cares about what? We have to follow stories as the Spartans who pulled their pellets find emotions and are more human. No, we don't. We need to see Master Chief kicking Covenant ass and eventually Flood ass. That is what we need. But we're not going to get that. We go through a whole training sequence as John is pushing Silver Team to get ready and train for the next Covenant battle because he's convinced he knows this is going to happen. He is right, but he's going about it all the wrong way. Reese can't handle it. She's in too much pain. Master Chief says, suck it up. And eventually now she's going to go visit the homeopathic doctor with blind failed Spartan dude who's giving her a pep talk all about, you need to find purpose besides just being a Spartan. It's okay. When I went blind, I found purpose helping all you guys. Blah, 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 blah. Nobody cares. This is boring. But when she goes to see Mr. Homeopathic Doctor, all he does is touch her wound and she goes, what's that? It's your pain. What is it? It's your pain leaving you. And she has an orgasm essentially and goes, oh, that's what happens. And she's healed. I want to praise Jesus. Space Jesus in the Halo universe has come down and healed this poor Spartan soul of her pain. She is now capable to go out and cosplay as a Spartan and fight Covenant and probably die because that's her fate. That should be her fate. Should be all their fates. Because the only word that should survive should be Master Chief, but we don't see Master Chief anywhere. While Reese is getting her physical orgasm therapy, Kai has a little sit down with Moly Moly Neck Evil Man, who is basically trying to get her to say that John is not mentally fit to be in command. She denies it, she dances around it, but of course the seed is planted because she's easily manipulated by him. All the while, John has gone to visit Perez. He's gone to Perez's house because he needs to find out why she lied. And he gets invited to dinner. Oh, this is Multiversity!
What's the story with you two?
Can we just eat, please?
I mean, look at this guy. He must have women climbing all over him. Probably some men too.
Hey, mind your business.
Home stretch. Here we go. John comes to dinner at the Perez household. And, well, it's diversity all over the place. We hear them saying a prayer in Spanish. They take a long time to get it done. We finally get to the dinner. You saw it in the clip. It's a bunch of mindless discussion. And they have to get in there. Oh, I bet ladies are all over you. I bet some dudes, too. Why? Why? The show's already established he is into women. Why must they even put it out there that dudes should be into him and he should be into dudes too? More diversity, more inclusion, more SJW wokeism. That's what it is. They get through this whole stupid dinner sequence where the two brothers, I assume they're her brothers, figure out he's a Spartan and they all have some sort of little giddy spaz happiness about it. Doesn't matter. The really important thing is after they get out of there, they have a conversation. Perez and John sit down, have a talk. Perez is having survivor's guilt. Plain and simple, she has survivor's guilt. She explains why she lies because she doesn't understand what happened. She doesn't understand why she had to live. And it's actually a good little scene there. It's the first real thing we've had in these entire 2 episodes so far today. It's something real, somebody that actually is a character for a second. And you can relate to that because you were there with her as everybody died and John, cosplaying as the Master Chief, fought off a few Covenant elite. And she has to wonder, why am I here? Why am I alive? Why did I win this award? What did I do it for? How do I go on knowing that all my friends are dead? And John says something good. You never forget. You only get farther away. That's the only good scene in this entire episode because it's something we can understand, something we can relate to, survivor's guilt and PTSD. It's a real thing, and bravo, you did something well, but don't worry, it's going to get stupid real soon again. Right after that, we finished up the whole Halsey in the holographic cell that I mentioned earlier. After Moly Moly Evil Neckman leaves her, he goes to touch and look at the artifact, the manufactured precursor artifacts, the reason everybody's doing shit to get their hands on it to find the Halo, as opposed to just, I don't know, going through the actual storyline and having Master Chief crash on the first Halo and have an adventure. I know, that's real hard to figure out, isn't it? He looks at it and then turns around, boom, there's Cortana, new version of her, just as weird and awkwardly CGI'd as the last one. Sounds odd too. He has a conversation with her about her calculations that she's running. It's obvious she's running the calculations of what the Covenant are going to do next. It's the fall of Reach. That she says there's a 97% chance it's going to happen. They don't say it, but those of us who understand what's going on, we understand he is trying to find a way to avoid the fall of Reach. But there is no avoiding it. It's going to happen. The Covenant are going to glass Reach, and John, meanwhile, over on his end, doing his own research, manages to find out that Cobalt Squad is actually on Reach. They weren't sent to a communications relay somewhere else. They were sent to one on Reach, and they haven't been heard of, which means the Covenant are on Reach. John and the rest of Silver Team decide to cosplay Spartans once again, and they're going to go find Cobalt Squad. Well, we discover some extra soldiers who may be with Cobalt Squad have found the Covenant and are summarily wiped out. The elite that wiped them out, one elite we see is there with ex-girlfriend Covenant girl boss. She's there. McKee is her name, I remember correctly. She tells him to just open the door politely. Elite opens the door, and we find the giant precursor artifact. And she reaches out to touch it, has an orgasm, and episode's over. Okay, we're done. Oh my God, this show sucks. The entire nearly 2 hours of episodes that we had today, about an hour 50, hour 47 minutes, something like that, they accomplished nothing. We had no real action. They barely cosplayed Spartans. We danced around topics. We alluded to the fall of Reach. And we've had characters that should have been jettisoned for the sake of good storytelling return for bad stories. We don't care about Soren. We only care about his hot wife. We don't care about little girl boss Kai. She sucks. She was horrible last season. She's already horrible this season with her time on the screen, fighting dudes 3 times her size and winning. The action, as I said, is non-existent. The extra character development Silver Team's getting, nobody cares. We're not watching this for fanfiction characters to have Fifi moments. We're not watching this to have John 117, the Master Chief, have an identity crisis, have a Fifi emo crisis. We're here to watch the Master Chief kick ass, chew bubblegum, and get more bubblegum and kick more ass. That's what we're here to see. But we're not getting that. 2 episodes in, we got nothing. Now, of course, next episode, it seems they're going to fight some Covenant on Reach because the Covenant are there and the fleet is coming. But it doesn't matter. It's probably going to be in darkness with a bunch of shaky cam, and it's going to be pointless. They should have just gotten right to the fall of Reach now and then spent 6 episodes on the Halo. No, but sorry, according to the episode title list I've seen, episode 8, the final episode of the season, is called Halo. So we have another 5 episodes before we even get to the Halo. My goodness. But I'll be here for it to help you. You don't have to watch this. I watch this, so you don't have to. So join me every Thursday for the next 7 weeks as we destroy this abomination. If you had a good time, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and I will see you next week. Take it easy, everybody. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you'd like to reach out to me, please email me at theranernerd@gmail.com for all channel business purposes. I am on Twitter now, mostly for promotion and sharing of videos, maybe a little shit stirring here and there, who knows, @TheRenNerd. You can also find me at the Geeks and Gamers forums under @ROAS, and you can see me on Rumble and Odyssey under the Renaissance Nerd. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy.